We're live.
We are live.
So today we have an extra special guest.
Special guest.
Andrew Hershey, a.k.a. the Chocolate Daddy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
A.k.a.
Chocolatey ass Hershey.
Before. I like it.
Yeah. Welcome, man.
Thanks.
It's good to have you on.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's snowing right now. Got a lot coming down.
It's like the first.
Yeah, the real one.
It feels like winter for the first time today.
About time. We need the snow.
What's on your mind today, Eddie?
No, I just want to know what was. I want to know if Hershey's been back to PA at all.
Nah, skipped my flight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Were you gonna visit someone?
Just the family.
Just the family,
Yeah,
bro.
just the family. But I went on a pretty cool road trip.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was nice.
Where'd you go?
I went to Sedona.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love Sedona.
I heard that's one of the better temperate places in Arizona.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool spot. I like Jerome. Have you guys ever been to Jerome?
Arizona?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a cool spot.
There's like all kinds of Joshua trees and stuff. It's kind of out in the middle of the nowhere. Jerome?
Yeah.
Right?
It's just right up on the hill, like to the west of Sedona. It's like right above Cottonwood.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty nice out there.
Cool.
But yeah, I stayed in the Jerome Grand Hotel. And it's a hotel and a restaurant. And yeah, it's really exciting. And it's an old asylum.
Ooh, creepy.
Like that's what it originally was?
Yeah, back in like the 20s.
So how was that for you?
Were there like ghosts and stuff?
Oh yeah, tons of ghosts.
Did you have any creepy experiences?
Yeah.
What
definitely.
happened?
Well, I got kicked out of the hotel.
What?
By ghosts?
No, I was playing music too loud.
What?
For how long?
I was playing for the ghosts.
But they didn't ask you
Were
to
you
stop?
playing guitar or were you playing like Lady Gaga on Spotify?
Yeah.
No, guitar.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they didn't
But
call
I mean,
you
I
to
mixed it up. I had to.
But they didn't call you to stop or something?
They definitely did.
And you didn't stop?
Mm-mm.
Holy crap.
Okay, what was your logic?
yeah. We want to know.
You were at that point. You were like, I don't know if they really meant that. They kind of want me to, but
Yeah, well, I mean, they have a bunch of musical instruments in there, and like it has definitely a lot of spiritual stuff going on. And yeah, I just felt like it was meant to be. It just had to happen.
What time did you get kicked out?
Like midnight.
Oh, like.
And so I had to like drive down to Cottonwood and
Find another hotel?
yeah, but I like drove around for like another hour, and I ended up right back in the same spot that I was earlier in that like, week. It was so funny. It was Oak Creek Canyon Road.
And the next hotel, you're like, how do you guys feel about
Playing
me playing guitar right now?
I mean,
all right.
it's a haunted hotel. It used to be an asylum. What do you expect to happen? Weird shit.
What was one thing that happened that was weird?
Me.
Okay. You were the ghost.
Possibly. I'm not going to take credit for it, though.
It seems like a normal hotel inconvenience, though.
If you're a ghost, you have to tell us by law.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely not a ghost. It'd be cool to be. A happy ghost. Like Casper.
So, earlier, what are your thoughts on this whole election drama
Stoked.
going on? You're happy about
Stoked. Oh, man. We're going to do some good stuff. Yeah,
it? Yeah?
I think so. It's pretty common sense.
Did you vote here, Hershey?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Because, like,
Did you went to the polls to
you
vote?
registered here?
Or did you
Well, I
vote by
filled out
mail?
the ballot and I put it in the drop
Okay.
box.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Nice.
It felt pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
really confused me on some of the questions. And I had to reread them multiple times.
There was one question that I was really happy to see on there. It was like asking if we think that we should get rid of the Electoral College and do a popular vote. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
That was pretty dope to see on there. At least someone's thinking about that and presenting
that's
that.
an option to vote on. Yeah, that's progress.
Like, one vote, one person. Like, that should be it. everybody gets one vote. We add them all up, and that's the president. In
And
my
I think
opinion,
they did a great job of counting the votes. Like that, like hats off to them. That was pretty sweet.
yeah, I was really happy to see I was watching a lot of the press conferences and stuff, and like the Pennsylvania governor was just like, look, we're just going to keep counting these votes. No one's going to stop us. We're making sure it's done fairly. Like it was just amazing to see how they weren't backing down at all to that like whole stop the vote thing. They were just like, look, we're counting these fucking votes.
Stop the count.
Yeah, it's common sense.
But
Just use your common sense.
technically, you wouldn't be able to tax the people whose vote you didn't count.
Yeah.
They haven't been represented.
I might just be so far outside of these Fox News echo chambers to know exactly what they're thinking, but like what for those people that were outside of the voting places just screaming stop the count or whatever
Praying
they were
outside.
screaming, who convinced them of what to think that was a good decision? Like what was it in their hearts that was like there's something very fraudulent going on and the only way to stop the fraud is to stop them from counting those votes? Like what was their I want to know what their thought process was because
to drag it out, to find another loophole.
I think maybe deep down they knew that the counts being counted, whether they thought they were fraudulent or not, they knew they were coming in for Biden. And then again, they were told not to vote by mail. So,
It doesn't take that long to vote. I don't think so. Unless we're doing this 6-foot thing. I don't know.
Yeah. It seems like people didn't have that big of a
issue. Well, a lot of people voted by mail. So
yeah.
there was going to be way less people at the polling places.
But the people that did go in and vote in
Or at voting
person,
places.
they didn't have long wait times according to the news I saw about it.
No, but yeah, like I said, a lot of people ended up voting early by mail. So it limited that number of people.
And what is it historically? I guess Republicans tend to vote in person.
Yeah, in person.
And more
Democrats
are willing to vote by mail. I wonder why that is. They don't trust the USPS.
I don't know. Maybe historically, voting places are always inconveniently placed, or just they're not able to get time off work, so they're just doing it, thinking ahead, so that I don't have to worry about this. They should make it a national holiday, but instead they're just making it like let people leave work. But I'm like, just make it a holiday then.
And it's not even a legal mandate to like let people leave work to go vote. You don't have to do that.
Really?
No. You could just say. I mean, if you could just be like,
a
figure it out.
That's a form of suppression. Huh?
What boss doesn't want you to vote?
I don't know.
No.
I'm
that's
assuming
shocking.
most people would absolutely let you
I
go
think
vote, but I don't think it's a law. I don't think you're required to let your employees take the day off to go vote.
We've had plenty of time to do all this, so I think they did it the right way.
Yeah.
Just
Let them recount it as
Yeah.
much as they want. Let them do whatever they want. I mean, it's time to just let go.
Yeah.
And let's move forward with our lives.
just don't use my tax dollars to recount.
Yeah.
Right.
If he wants to use his daddy's
Don't do that.
a loan from his dad,
alone, yeah.
he can recount them all day.
we ain't doing dumb shit no more.
Bro, you know what I was thinking
hope
about though too? Would you download an app that kept you updated on all of the elections going on that affected your zip code that you lived in, like local, and explained what each, like, the explanation of what each of the things meant, like, to you? Like, for example, if it broke it down to the fact that, like, it breaks it down to how much it affects you based on how much income you are, like, where your bracket is, how hard it hits you. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I feel like Colorado isn't real great about like that. I know there's some states, like I saw people posting online that I don't know what state it was. I'm assuming it was like California or Washington, but it comes with a whole pamphlet that paraphrases every single proposition and goes, essentially, it's saying if you vote yes, this is going to happen. If you vote no, this is going to happen.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
Because
Yes.
like you were saying, some of the questions were phrased in a very like if I vote yes, I don't really know if I'm saying which that
who am I benefiting?
Do I want the wolves to be implemented back into the wild, or do I not want them to? I don't know if yes or no means which one. So
a nice piece of paper full of information would be
no,
helpful.
but I was gonna say, like, if you had an app on your phone that just sent you alerts and says, "Don't forget, 1 week coming up, voting on this, or this representative, or this political figure," and it'd be nice to just vote through that fucking app.
That'd be great.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't see why not. Like, why aren't we at the point where you can vote just on your phone? Like, if you can have your banking on your phone and you trust that that's secure and that it's all going to go the right way, why can't we figure it out to the point where you can vote by phone, via text message or on the internet? Just use your social security to vote once, or whatever it is, and then it can't be used again. I don't know.
I think you would only investigate. I would only investigate anything suspicious based on if somehow the same social security number came in twice but voted in opposition.
Yeah. Then there would be some kind of fraud going on.
Then you want to make sure that someone didn't do something illegal while another person did something totally legal. You know? But otherwise, there shouldn't be any issues if it's just going based off your social.
Yeah. Like one vote per social. I don't know. Seems legit.
I think you can make it.
If we can vote for American Idol by phone, we can vote for president by phone. That's true,
man.
Are you guys still nervous at all about like giving away your social security number? Ever?
Well, your like debit card gets typed into your phone.
Yeah.
When you buy stuff.
Wait, what do you mean? In what context?
Like our parents' generation was so like you had to.
If anyone gets your social, your life is over.
Absolutely. But I think it's so.
I think because they thought it was like.
Stuff.
I think it was the attitude they had about it because it was a somewhat new idea to our parents at that time.
And I think we've grown up in a generation where privacy isn't really a thing anymore. Like everyone can Google you, see pictures of everything you've ever done, everywhere you've ever gone. They know where you live. Yeah. They know who your friends are. And that's just something we've all grown up as kind of having a norm in our lives. But our parents or grandparents especially are like, what? Someone knows your address or someone knows where you live? That is unacceptable. Kind of like Ron Swanson mentality where, but I don't know. I think in general, most millennials are not intimidated by people knowing stuff about them for some reason when our parents and grandparents were and are.
Yeah, I guess I figure there's enough identity theft laws that would protect you based on that. But like look, if this is an app that lets you vote, it's going to be straight up official, which I think it's going to have the best encryption. It's going to be your name, your social, and your vote. And that's it. It's encrypted. And it's like the government. So, and if somebody did want to try and break in, that can be the biggest, on the highest level of crimes. Just the highest level of crime. That's it.
I think we're there. Like we have the technology to do it, but again, it's like when the boomers are running everything, there's no way they're going to be down to implement that.
Actually, I forgot. I agree with your point there, where the powers that be are too old to understand how you can implement that.
Yeah. I think by the time our generation is in control of everything, that it'll be more likely that it'll be very easy to vote. Like, why isn't it the easiest thing in the world? So that, like we were saying, only 150 million people voted in this election when there's like 300 million or so voting age adults in
Hershey,
America.
Would you trust an app to vote on your phone if all they asked was your name and your social and what your choices were? Is there any reason you think that amount of information would lead to someone like being able to ruin your like credit score or something?
Well, I think voting is like a thing to do, you know,
right?
Like going to the polls or going to drop it off.
Oh, like a physical,
the physical thing of doing it.
But like as a ritual, or you have to do it that way?
I mean, you do it once every 4 years to like for the presidential election.
No, right. But not only that one, for all of them, that you could do this for every single one that happened throughout the year, any time of the year, governor, mayor, small things, local, like super local. Would you trust an app that you could do that on?
I would trust one.
Whether or not you used it for the big main vote.
I would trust one, but I can't really. No, there's something about actually going to vote.
Word.
I know.
But besides the big vote, think about all the other ones, all like the local stuff. Yeah, would you trust would you do that on a phone?
Yeah, if they could like pile information about a certain subject, exactly, rather than just getting a booklet of stuff.
Right.
You could just look it right up.
What do you think are people's biggest worries, though, based on the information you have to implement? Because they have to make sure it's one person and it's just one person voting based on what, like, you trust that it being that you could put in your social and it can encrypt it for you.
Yeah.
Would you trust that encryption?
I think we.
But would you wouldn't make it so that people have to go to the polls for the big vote for the presidential one every 4 years?
Right. Yeah. You don't have to, but you lose touch of.
No. I agree with the tradition of that.
But like everything
from
else,
the origins,
yes, I think it would be really helpful to have a website that you could trust.
I agree with you, but the only thing is, I would say that there aren't enough people mine or your age who wouldn't agree that there's a super convenience to just voting on your phone and just not dealing with the line. Because sometimes some people have never had an easy experience at all.
Yeah.
Some people's experience has always been more than 4 hours.
No, I'd be for it. Yeah, absolutely. Good, informative.
Also, like, I don't know, what would you do, like, if you had ill intentions and you were like a thief, or like if you came across someone's social security number tomorrow, would you know what to do with that, to use it to hurt someone?
Yeah, no.
I would have no idea. You would have to be like a legit villain.
Yeah, you gotta be searching.
A legit villain.
To like know exactly how to do something bad with that number. And like you kind of like you were saying, these days we have so many fail safes where like if someone steals your identity and maxes out your credit cards and runs away to the Bahamas, like
people have to cover that.
Yeah, it's all insured by the banks and the credit card companies, so you'll get your money back. It's really not that scary. I don't know. It's just like an inconvenience, kind of like getting a flat tire or something.
Right.
Like where it's like, oh, that sucks. I know I have to fix that, and then it's fixed, and you can keep driving.
Right. But I would thoroughly enjoy an app like that, where it's like, look, if you trusted it enough to put a ton of your details, a ton of the details that matter when it comes to being a voter and what kind of laws they want to implement, so you would put in your like year salary, your age, things like that, so that it broke it down based on even in 10 years, this is what this law would mean to someone like you.
Yeah, like
including
if you really
your age,
wanted to learn exactly all those deep details.
Exactly, because you don't know if maybe there's some early on benefits that seem cool now and aren't very cool later. I think it helps with long-term choices, because a lot of times we're just thinking of the choices we make year for year. It's like, oh, there aren't long-term effects for doing something for one whole year and then changing it next year. It's like, no, whatever long-term effects are going to happen, they're going to happen in the long term. It's not just going to be like, oh, this idea's over, no idea. There are no consequences from the last idea. But there are. So it's really important to know when an idea is going to have long-term effects that you won't be able to do anything about. Yeah, for example, if you had a public who was informed enough about science and climate change, had climate change information come out when corporations were beginning and starting to just dig for resources, would voters have gone, all right, what does this mean for the future of the whole earth? And are they educated enough to make that choice too?
Yeah, that would be, I don't know, I think we'll get there. But an app like that, I think, would really like help. Yeah, a voting app.
Dude, the voting app. Nice.
But it would have to be run by some...
Chat with your friends on it.
Some other company. Yeah. Government websites are notoriously shitty.
Yeah. And shady.
Yeah. We should just... Elon Musk can run it.
Yeah, that's true. There's a trust issue there that's kind of hard to get around. I agree. Yeah, you when you brought up the privacy, I totally agreed with Hershey. Like that would be one of the hardest things to overcome with a person is putting your name. But it's like the fact that you were born and they gave you a social, they already know you exist.
Yeah, I don't agree with like going around and flaunting like your not like social security number or anything,
word,
but
but
like,
I don't.
But like it's
because like when you do your taxes,
it would be helpful to have like multiple numbers maybe or something.
Backup.
Yeah,
numbers.
it's like healthcare. It's like your health card.
right?
Got all your numbers, or everything's taken care of.
Your member ID,
Yeah, member ID.
Your card number, your
Just something
account number.
casual.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that we've already been tagged with socials is kind of already a barcode, though.
They should just put chips in all of our arms.
See, I'll stick with the social security card. At least it's not inside of my body.
Are they still making social security cards with like just paper, like regular, really thin paper?
Yeah, it's just
Or is it laminated? Yeah,
And I think
it's typically just paper, yeah.
it's just a little blue paper.
And then they're really hard to fucking replace if you ever lose it or it gets
They make
ripped
it like
or
a
something.
pain in the ass. They're like, you don't fucking exist.
Who
Prove
are
to
you?
us that you've
You're
existed.
like, I can't see you. You're not there. You no longer are here.
Oh my gosh.
So,
That's insane. Can you imagine that? Chimpanzees tagging every single newborn chimp? Keeping track of them all? Holy shit, what would we say? What are they doing? What are they doing with that information?
yeah.
They tag them. They give them a number.
I think so. It's so they can tax us, right? Essentially, what it all boils down to.
Yeah, it makes those kinds of systems convenient. Social Security, because like you were supposed to retire based on incomes left being made by younger generations, which is good. But people were really afraid of that because that makes sense. Yes, there's good reason to sort of feel like that's shady.
Mm-hmm. Because otherwise, why would they really need to give you an individual identifier and be able to track your every move, like,
or just your whereabouts at least? If you put it like that. But otherwise, look, the only reason I want to make voting more convenient is because I would want to reach. Imagine how this country may be with like a 90% voter turnout. Not turnout, but voters voting 90%. 90 freaking percent. Like, you really get some real representation of who we have in this country.
I should probably have it at 100%. Probably.
I mean, YOLO. Yeah. I mean, I just didn't think 100 would be realistic, but that would be fucking historic. Can you imagine being a country who said, "All right, we're gonna do this.
We're all gonna."
We are everyone.
100%.
Yes, exactly.
Well, voting via app would
to
help with that.
Exactly.
For sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Just make it as easy as brushing your teeth. Like,
yeah,
it's just like that's how long it'll take to vote.
And then alert on everything again, like, and then a little "What does this mean to me?" button.
They make it sound like rocket science. Like, it's not hard to
count
votes.
Makes it feel like...
Or at least come up with a better system, because this one didn't work.
Yeah.
Like, they have, like, the Scantron sheets. You guys remember those?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just have it like that.
Where you just fill in the bubbles and then you...
You see how Biden was number one?
Yeah. Did you register soon after you moved here, Hershey?
Yeah.
To be Colorado?
Yeah. I got my license, like...
Immediately.
Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty close.
It's crazy how
nice.
it's technically a federal law that you have to get a new ID within 10 days of voting.
Yeah, and some people go...
Years.
Yeah,
Years.
a while.
Years and years. Working in an industry where I take copies of people's licenses, like, sometimes it's like 4, 6, 10 years.
Oh
They've still got, like, a Idaho license.
What is an Arizona ID? Like, it's 50 years or something?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good
for renewals.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
still have
long
mine.
time.
Wow, you don't have that many people.
I don't know.
Each state
print off a
each
couple
state
new
finds
ones.
some sort of convenient reason to base it off, because like some other states is like a few years, like 5 or 3.
Yeah. I still have my old Arizona license, and it expires in 2054.
Dude, that's amazing.
It's technically still valid.
That's amazing. Oh my God.
It's crazy.
Wow.
I have no idea, because that means someone got their license when they were 16. They were still just barely hitting puberty, zits all over their face, crazy hairdo, and then 50 years later, when they've got gray hair, they're like probably 50, 60 pounds heavier. They've changed their hairdo. Like, how could you possibly imagine being the officer that walks up to the car and this like 50-year-old pulls out his license and it's a 16-year-old kid. You're like, yep, that looks like you.
No, I think when you turn 21, you have to redo it if you got it when you were 16.
In Arizona.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, really?
I think you do.
Oh, because otherwise it says not 21 until... and then it flips it the other direction. And I think
you still have to redo the picture.
But still, 21 to like 65, you're going to look so much different.
I agree with that, and I think that's really funny. Yes. You've all gained like 200 pounds. Or that could happen in like 10 years. And you would look totally like a different person. Remember on Arrested Development, what's his name? The cousin? Job's son?
Steve Holt.
Steve Holt?
Yeah. He was like a fourth-year senior.
It's supposed to have only been like 6 months later, and that dude looks totally different.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, especially in between 18 and now, like 27.
Yeah, 27 or 30, yeah, exactly. That's true. I feel like I've become
It's like you can grow facial hair.
Yeah. You can do more
I'm
things.
working on
You
it.
can do more things with your face.
Yeah.
So, speaking of ghosts, something that Eddie and I have been asking people when they come on the podcast as like a last question to discuss is like, what do you think happens when we die?
Good question.
Yeah, what do you think, man? Like,
what do you think?
We just disintegrate and hopefully we come back.
Like in Infinity War?
That'd be cool.
Wait, what do you mean? Do you think there's any chance of that? Do you think...
Oh, yeah. Like anything's possible.
Like, if you were on your deathbed, what would you think would come next, like, after you died?
Yeah, like when your eyes closed for the last time.
You probably, digitally, break down. And,
you wake up out of the Matrix?
Yeah, yeah.
Disconnect.
Yeah, and you gotta figure out the Rubik's Cube. Except there's 5,000 pieces.
I could do it, man. I could do it. So that's it? You just
Well, yeah, I mean, you can... I think all you have to do is just believe you're a good person, and you'll see what good comes of it. It's pretty simple. I mean, if you give back, be good, just wish for the best. I mean, I believe there is there had to have been something that happened a few thousand years ago. I don't doubt it.
What do you mean?
But like with say Christ. I don't doubt it. Maybe something happened. That's cool. But it's not all about one dude. It's about all of us.
Okay.
And if we're just a little bit better every day, good to go.
I agree. I think there's no harm in that. If people just believe that being a good person and treating all the people around you really well and being ethical and moral and trying to contribute to society, if they firmly believe that will get you some kind of something good will happen to you after you die, then I don't think there's any harm in that. That'll do nothing but make the world a better place.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's simple, and we all get so intense with each other and turn into a hate situation, and there's no reason for it. It's dude, you can believe whatever you want. I'm still gonna hang out with you.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. None of it matters. At the end of the day, if you're taking other people's land and putting
churches up, for example.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Not cool, man. Nah,
Don't
dude.
do
Nah. That's what made me so mad about Sedona, is that everything is named after the church. And it's like you're missing so much history because there's no ease of access for it. And it's just mind-blowing. Like, I got a map. I looked at all the formations. Didn't go up to any of them. Because I knew instantly that's not where I wanted to be. Because it wasn't who I was and what I thought was okay. Like, there's so much history that is lost because
they call the monuments like St. Peter's Rock or like
just because we
shit
didn't
like
shut
that.
up and listen. Like, if they just like listened to the people, like the indigenous people, they were in the stars before we showed up. And if we just listened and communicated, it'd been so easy, man. So easy. Like, but they didn't think like that, but it's still possible.
Yeah. Like, it's funny, we were just talking about that in the car ride, how in high school, whenever they described the battles when the colonists were here, like first just taking over, whenever they described the battles of the Native Americans winning, they called them a massacre. But whenever the Americans won the battles, they would call it like a victory and this great thing. And it's like...
And you had like Native kids reading out of those textbooks in that
especially
school.
in
they were right next to the
in
reservation.
Maricopa. We lived like on a reservation basically, so there was a very high population of like
text.
Apaches.
It was
Ak-Chin, yeah. And so sitting in those classrooms, learning about that stuff with all of them around you, it's like, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like our history is only like 100 years old here. Like, what are we doing? Like, there's so many people
I think it's like 500 years.
No,
240-ish is when America was founded.
Like America.
Sedona area, or like the Rockies.
Arizona was one of the most recent states.
That's true. That's a good point. It was
Clark.
many years later before we broke them up into all 50 colonies.
Yeah, and like you would have thought that they would have learned. Like, my issue also is like, why are you building stuff out in the middle of the desert? You know, like if there's not a ton of access for like resources.
You know? I always said that about Phoenix. I'm like, why did you guys just build this out here?
Why did we even go there? Like,
if it was totally empty, you would have thought, what the fuck?
When you first started riding horses out into the middle of the desert, why didn't you just stop and turn around once you realized that there's nothing out there? There's no life.
But Sedona is nice, though.
But now there's some of the most people per capita in the entire world living in Phoenix. I mean, not in the entire world, but in the United States. There's more people packed into a small little spot than anywhere else in Phoenix, Arizona. And that's those freeways, man. There's just thousands and thousands of angry, hot, sweaty people trying to get to their meaningless job.
And trying to get home.
And you can't touch your seatbelt because as soon as you touch it, your fingers melt onto the metal.
They're trying to quickly get to the job they hate so they can quickly leave.
So there had been a reason why they started it. You know? They're like, yeah, let's screw these guys over.
Yeah. It's amazing that people haven't just left by now. I don't know. There are ups and downs to it, though. Like, I like the fact that there's for a fact there will never be any snow. That's always nice. You'll always be able to get wherever you're going
consistently. That there
will be no tornadoes, no snow, no avalanches, no earthquakes.
That's true.
Nothing. The worst thing there are is those haboobs, those giant dust storms.
And that'll get hotter and hotter and hotter.
Yeah, it'll get so hot where if you walk outside, you'll literally
any
die.
technology that comes out that produces some sort of resource just based on heat, you fucking can bet they will be building in Arizona.
Well, solar panels work great out there.
Oh yeah, the one of the top 2 sunniest cities are in Arizona, in all of the United States.
So haboob. Is haboob. So is that what like Dorothy had a situation with, or was
that was a tornado?
Yeah, that was a tornado. Yeah.
This is just a.
Have you ever seen The Mummy, or the first Mummy movie,
or Hidalgo,
with Brendan Fraser? Fraser?
Fraser.
It's basically just a giant wall of dust,
Yeah, being
and you
blown.
can see it coming from like 50 miles away on the horizon.
And if you can get a picture from the
and
sky,
it just takes up the
it's just
entire horizon.
It is incredible.
And eventually, when it hits, you can't see anything. Like 5 feet in front of you, you
it's
cannot
just
see
blowing dust.
for like an hour. So if you're on the freeway during that or something, it is pretty shitty. But
Arizonans are very proud of getting haboobs.
they're like, that's our natural
our
disaster.
natural-
You got a day off.
because like there's so few
No.
casualties, bro. It's
Yeah.
like I love the most horrible possible catastrophe so long as there's no deaths.
Yeah. Then it makes it exciting. All right.
That's great.
We are pretty much at the end of our time. We try to limit these to around 40 minutes or so.
Word.
I hope that's okay
But
with you, Hershey.
This was fun. Thanks for being on the
Yeah,
podcast.
man.
absolutely.
Thanks for being here.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Awesome.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Peace out.
Peace out, Brez.
Oh, I wish there was a word.